Hi, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you're new. I'm Stylish Trait, or you can call me Kanisa Sade. I don't mind either one. So today's video is going to be a cast favorites and defaults video. In one of my previous cast videos, I asked if you guys wanted to know what was on my base sim, because when I make sims, I usually start with this base sim and I will go from there and change skin details and body, and you know, so they don't have same face syndrome too much. But that's what today's video is going to be. It's going to be my favorite cast mods and skin details and things like that. I was going to include like hair, clothes, shoes and everything, accessories and all that in this video, but I've actually recorded this video a few times and it just turns out to be way too long. So maybe those will be like, you know, favorite cast creators. That'll be like a separate video, so let me know if you guys are interested in that. But for now, I'm pretty much going to show you some of the main like details that I like to put on my sim. So this is my base sim. She doesn't have like a name or anything. Like I just chose not to be creative. She's just a base sim. And I'm gonna go over my mods that I like to use in cast. This over here, you might see that I have 5 traits instead of 3 for young adults and above. That is the More Traits in Cast mod by the Pancake One and MizoreYukii. And it just, you know, of course, just adds a little bit more to gameplay, even though the traits are kind of weird in Sims 4. But for my Royal Empire series, I play with 2 different royalty mods, which is the royalty mod and the royal family mod, and both of those need traits for the monarch, which is the monarch trait for one of them, and then the other one's like the king or queen trait, and you use those to have certain like aspirations or like jobs or something, and like certain events to happen. You can't have them without those traits, so I needed to have more traits in cast. That way I wouldn't just have like 2, you know, of the royal traits and then like 1 like random, you know. I needed my sims to have some personality. Next, I am going to go ahead and let you guys know the reshade that I use. So the reshade that I use is S Drama by Amoe, maybe. But yeah, I use this one, but I do add vibrance just because this is what it looks like without vibrance, and then this is what it does, as well as I add on this MXAO effect as well. And it's just, you know, a little customization, but it's not like that much different. And then of course when I'm in gameplay, I'll add depth of field, but we're just in cast right now, so that's all we'll worry about. And then as you can see, this is a all black cast background, but at the bottom there is a reflection. This is the reflection black cast background by Vyxated on Tumblr, I believe. And also El Craze also has really good cast backgrounds. I'm sure you guys have heard of them, but yeah, I like to use those, but the only issue is that when I take screenshots, sometimes it just makes it really hard, so the solid background is a good way to go. And then lastly, while we're here, I think I want to talk about the lighting mod that I use. So the cast lighting mod that I use is called Gentle by NorthernSiberiaWinds. They're like one of my favorite like CC creators in the Sims community. Like they are just really good. But yeah, it doesn't do too much. It just makes the Sims a little bit brighter, make them stand out a little bit more. And I just really like how it looks. And then I did just want to talk about maybe a couple more mods that I like to use, because they're mods that you can't necessarily see right now, but they are kind of like background mods. Have by the same creator, which is SimplyAnjuta, I believe is how you pronounce it. But there's the no makeup and no accessories on randomized sims. Now this, I believe, applies to cast and randomly generated sims that the game will create. Now it's not a big problem for me because I use MCC and I have a bunch of sims saved with the hashtag MCCC_include, and I messed with that kind of thing, so it only really spawns sims from my tray. But if it does for some reason just not spawn a sim, or maybe I run out of sims to spawn, then it will, of course, the game will generate a sim, and I don't want them to look crazy. I don't want them to have no crazy makeup on, no crazy accessories, so that is what that mod does. And then there is the preset selection for randomized sims by the same creator. I think I have an understanding of what this mod does. Basically, it makes them not look crazy. Like I believe it gives them maybe set like features, maybe set outfits for randomly generated sims. And then another thing that I do like to do is in, what is it called? Sims 4 Studio. I do how do I explain it? So I would go to content management, I believe, and then disallow CC for random. So any of my townies or my sims that'll be here in cast, It takes a while for it to like go through all the CC because I have a lot of CC, but it also will allow random sims to not have CC on, and it will only use clothes and makeup and hair and everything from the game, and it just makes my randomized sims look way less crazy. And then lastly, there's a mod that I use, but I can't actually show you right now because I'm recording this close to the horse wrench patch, and the mod is broken right now. But as you can see, we are in mouth details right now, and there is a custom option right here. That's because it is the color sliders for hair, clothes, and accessories, and this tends to work on skin details, tattoos, and you know, as they said, clothes, hair, and accessories. Now I don't think this doesn't work with every single thing, so like some CC it for sure will not work with. I couldn't tell you about anything that comes with the game because I barely ever use stuff from the game, but yeah, it will allow me to change the shade. So right now you see how it says this is the one that's selected, but when I click it again it gets darker. That's because this shade is what she actually has on, and it is a lower opacity version of this one right here. But yeah, I just can't show you right now because it's not fixed yet, but that one is by the Pancake one and MizoreYukii as well. Now we are going to get into some other mods that I want to show you guys. So as you can see, there is this forehead crease pink divider, right? So this is the Tidy CAS mod by YoruQueenOfNightSims. And there's a few different versions of this, which is why this one right here, it's in my mods folder, but I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it is, but it's very old. Like, it doesn't have all of the new like categories, like all of these new like categories, or like some of the body scar categories that were added into the game this year. It doesn't have any of that, so I do need to get rid of this, but this is a newer updated version. I have the pink color, of course, but it's really helpful because it will allow you to know where certain items and like CC and skin details will be included, and you won't like overlap when it comes to giving your sims more detail. And then as you can see, I don't have the blue wrench. I have this little small CC. This is called the Minimalist CC wrench by RheallSim, which I believe you can probably find some other versions too. And then also, I forgot to mention this, but my sim is standing still in CAS. The one that I use is Stand Still in CAS by Helgatisha. That is my favorite one. There's a few different variations of this. Like, some people have like poses and like stuff like that, but I just like mine to be like this. That way I can kind of just see everything very clearly. The only issue, of course, with standing still mods is that when you make plus size sims or like thicker sims, sometimes they kind of clip into the arms. But there's, you know, usually a fix for that. Like, so let's say if I made her all the way up, I would just come in, check to see what her body looks like. And I will show you guys why I do that later. Now that is all for the CAS gameplay mods. But now I'm going to go into some of my defaults that I use. So my default skin, default eyes, and default teeth. I don't think there's anything else that involve like sims. Maybe default feet, but I actually don't even know what default feet I have. I will go ahead and let you guys know the default eyes that I'm using are they are the Comet eyes by Twisted Cat. So I have the default, the non-default, and the star version. So this is the default, and it also has non-default swatches in between. So if you don't see an EA color, then that means it is a non-default. The only issue is there is no pink swatch, which sad face, but there is no pink swatch. So you will just see that. But then there's also these star versions down here. This has a little star in the eye, and there is a pink one of that one. Well, that's a different eye, and there is a pink one of that one. So, you know, if I wanted to do pink eyes, I could, but I could also just use contact. The default teeth that I like to use are by Magic Bot. They are kind of alpha-y. I am a Maxis mixer. I used to be super Maxis match, like I wouldn't really use anything alpha, but this year I've really gotten into like mixing around both. For hairs, for the most part, I usually kind of stick with Maxis match unless it's like braids or something. Sometimes I'll go to alpha, but for the most part I do stick with Maxis match hair just because it blends in with the game better. But yeah, these are the teeth that I use. There's a lot of different variations that come with a lot of different packs. So like if you have, for example, up here there's Get Famous, the gold teeth, the grills, and then vampires and mermaid teeth and everything. So yeah, with the different packs they do have different versions for those as well. I have a gap, so I'm gonna give her a gap. And as for my default skin, now you may be thinking, is this the default skin? No, but I wish it was, because it looks so good. Like, look at how good she looks. She's so pretty. So she actually doesn't have any makeup on, as you can see, but it looks like she might have some on, like maybe some highlight or something. No, those are all skin details. That is all details that are also in the tattoo section. And yeah, so she has no makeup on whatsoever. This is just how she looks. But yeah, let me show you the default skin that I have. So I'm actually going to take off all the tattoo stuff and all the skin details. So this is what she looks like. This is my skin default. It is the Aloe Vera skin by Mossylane. I like this skin a lot. I think it's a good mix between like alpha and max's match. Like, it's like somewhat kind of realistic. Like, it looks like a real person, you know, like there's different shades and like tones in the skin. Like, it looks like the nose might have like some pores or something. Like, I don't know, it just looks really realistic to me. And yeah, I like it. I kind of switch my skins around a lot, even though it doesn't really matter because I usually always have a skin overlay on anyway, but those are my defaults. Now we are going to start with skin details. My favorite skin overlays are by NorthernSiberiaWinds, and you guys, they make the best skin overlays. When I tell you, they have really good ones for if you wanted to do like a Max's Match sim, or if you wanted to do an Alpha sim, or even like a Max's Mix. Like, they have really good skins. My two favorites are these up here. They're just two different versions of the skin. So there's the blueberry skin, there's version 1 and 2, and then there's the soft rose skin version 1 and 2. But I also like their skins. I believe it is numbers 6 and 9 through 13. They are all available on their Patreon. I think most of those are free now. Some of them might cost, I'm not too sure. I do pay for a lot of CC. Like, I am actually kind of out of control, but yeah, I do pay for a lot of CC. So sorry if some of these items are not free, but most of the items I do think are like early access and do eventually become free over a certain period of time. So hopefully most people will be able to use some of these. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you what they look like. I'm like talking without actually pressing it. But yeah, so what I noticed with NorthernSiberiaWinds is the first shade that they'll have will be lighter than the actual skin tone of your sim, but the second one will be more accurate to their skin tone. So yeah, I do usually use the second one, or then sometimes if I just want my sim to get darker, then of course I can make them darker as well, which is a really good option to have. Actually, the blueberry skins version 1 and 2, they're really good for like alpha sort of sims. Like, if you wanted to give them more of a alpha, somewhat realistic kind of look, then these ones are really good. I also just really like the kind of shine that's on the body. I think it looks really nice. And yeah, like, there's just like it's just really nice. I like the way that this one looks. It has a nice face highlight, and the difference between the two, I think it's like nose mask, lip mask, and maybe like eyelid mask are kind of slightly different too. But yeah, and then there's also this one, which is a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more Max's Match. These are the soft rose, which this one has a monolid for eyes, and then this one has double lids. So yeah, the skins for these ones are really nice. Now, the only thing about these skins is it is a skin overlay for the entire body. So if you have like a plus size sim, the belly might not look super realistic, and like the back or anything, which slimmer sims can also have like rolls and stuff too. But if you wanted to have like a plus size sim with like rolls and stuff, then there are actually some stuff that I'm going to show you later on in the video that will apply. But because these are full body in the way that NorthernSiberiaWinds makes their sims, they just tend to be kind of like it tends to like not blend very well sometimes. So I will show you guys that, but these are some of the other skins by NorthernSiberiaWinds that are just really nice. Oh, okay, yeah, this one's just the face, it looks like. Oh, this one's just the face, looks like. Some of these have just the face. So yeah, I guess you could do that. And then some that are definitely like way more Max's Matchy. Where are you? So there are these skins by Twisted Cat. So there's the So Creamy skin. Now this one does not cover the body, so your default skin's body will be there. And then there's just a few different little details there. And then there is the Fawn skin. Again, it's just the face, so there's different details there. They have an elder version here for your elder sims, and then there's this one, which is a full body overlay, and there are a few different versions in here too, some with freckles, some with eye bags. But yeah, these skins I tend to use for my townies. So like if I am making over a townie for whatever reason and I don't want to like do too much, then I'll just put on the Twisted Cat skins just because I feel like they blend in with the game really well and I won't have to put too much makeup on because there's already like highlight and stuff included, and that's usually what I tend to do for my townies. Okay, and next we are going to talk about eyelashes. So there are a few different eyelashes that I like to use, but I will just go over some of my favorites, of course. So the creators, of course, is the Kijiko lashes. If you have not heard of the Kijiko lashes, you are living under a rock. Like, these lashes have been a part of the Sims 4 community for almost since the beginning of the Sims 4. So yeah, let me go ahead and click them. These are a really good favorite of mine, which I think it says, yeah, version 2, and I just like this particular swatch. But yeah, this one is like a really good natural one that I like to use. And what I've noticed with the Kijiko lashes is that you can wear glasses, but you cannot wear rings. So like if you're someone that's like kind of super realistic and you like for your married Sims to have like a wedding ring on, you will not be able to wear rings with the Kijiko lashes on. But that is where, you know, different lashes come in, because all of them kind of have sort of exceptions that they, you know, kind of follow. So next I have the Plum Bob Juice lashes. These ones specifically are a good one of my favorite swatches, and then the one right below it as well. These two right here are my favorite ones, but these ones you can wear rings but you cannot wear glasses. So if you want sunglasses or prescription glasses, then your Sim will not be able to do it because it will look crazy. And then lastly, Dream Girl has some really good ones, but I think I really only use versions 5 and 6, which I believe are these two. These ones are okay, but they're good for like if I'm kind of being creative and like fun. But yeah, these ones right here, I think, yeah, this one is the one that I have on my base Sim. Like, this one's really nice. And then there's a few other swatches in here too. Let's see. Yeah, if I want like this nice like sparse wispy look, that one's really cute. And then over here with this version, I kind of like most of the ones in this one, I think. Yeah, it just depends on like what I want to go for. Yeah, I like most of the swatches in this one. And then with the Dream Girl lashes, you can wear glasses and rings, but you cannot wear bracelets. I think some rings will cause problems, but not all rings, I think, because I think sometimes I can still get rings on with these lashes. Let's move on to baby hairs. So I have a lot of baby hairs in my game, but I'm really just going to go over the ones that I tend to click on all the time. So baby hairs and hairlines. So I'm going to start with baby hairs. The only ones I really use very often are the ones by C Productions. I use the Snatched Edges parts XI, X, and P9, which are the high school years add-ons. So these ones right here, I believe, are the high school years add-ons because they look like the ones that came with, I think it was like the side ponytail or something. Yeah. So we'll do these. I'm just going to do this orange just because she's got a black background right now, so I won't do black hair. That way you guys can see it, but yeah, there's different versions, of course, for different hairstyles. And then these are versions XI and X. I don't remember which one is which, but yeah, these ones are like so cute. I used to stick with these ones a lot, and then they just came out with these ones like kind of recently. So for now, we're gonna take the baby hairs off. And then we're going to go down to my favorite hairlines, which are a little bit further down. So there's these ones by RheallSim. There's the wispy, the droll, the prim, the proper, fancy, and stoic. Stoic are, of course, very masculine. So it's got that kind of hairline to it. Got the little mud chops right there. These ones I tend to use for my like Caucasian or like Asian or just like straight haired Sims. Like, I tend to stick with these ones for my straight haired Sims, and the baby hairs I usually have for my curly haired Sims. So that's just how I usually end up doing it. But yeah, though truthfully, I do tend to have these on just black Sims in general, just because it's, you know, usually how we do our baby hairs. We usually kind of make them a little artsy. So, and now I will show you guys some of my favorite eyebrow creators, just because I couldn't tell you what, you know, specific eyebrows are unless the name is like smack dab on the thumbnail, you know. So these are the ones that I have on my default Sim. They are by Praline. They are the, I think, Kuta, I think is what it says right there. Kuta, yes, that is what these are called. They're very nice, they're very cute, very simple, and I feel like they fit a lot of different styled Sims. But yeah, so Praline has a lot of really good eyebrows, but they have like a million. Like, there's literally so many. cosmetic. They also have like some really good ones, some really thick ones, is what I've noticed, but they have like a lot of different styles for theirs too. Peachy Fairy has some really good ones too. Let's see, turn those this color. I really like the styles that they have. They have some thick ones as well as some I guess like thinner ones too, but they're usually pretty thick. And they have in some of their collections different hair swatches. So, and then Twisted Cat also has some really nice ones too, which the Twisted Cat usually has ones that I think are really good for my townies. I think I tend to use for that a little bit more. For now, let's see. I'm gonna use these ones by Cosmetic. It's number 35. They look pretty similar to the ones that I usually have on the base sim, but we're gonna stick with it anyway, unless I decide to change it. I don't really know what I'm going for right now, but we'll get there in a second. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put on some more skin details and show you guys some more skin details that I like to use for my sims, and then after that I will go over presets that I like to use. But for now, let's go ahead and just go ahead and give her some details, because I usually like to start off with details and then I'll play around with presets and then go back into skin details. Since I have the Tidy CAS dividers, I now know that the mouth crease and the forehead crease are spots that are taken. So next we are going to have to go down to freckles and see if there's any skin details that I would like to add on. Now I don't usually put a lot of freckles on my sims, so I don't have like a favorite freckle. Sometimes, like I said, with the skins that I use, sometimes they'll have freckle swatches. So we are actually going to use, this is called the Spotlight Face Shading by Samandy, and these two right here, these are my favorite swatches, just depending on the skin tone of the sim that I'm making. I'll usually just choose between those two, or if I'm just feeling kind of dramatic, you know, we'll go for the darker swatch. But right now I'm just gonna go for the lighter one and change it later if I want to, but right now with this skin on, I think it just matches to have like a lighter swatch. But yeah, these are really nice. They add a lot of detail to your sims, and at first I didn't like using these, but I've been seeing a lot of people on Tumblr have them on their sims, and I just feel like it adds so much, especially if you wanted to take like screenshots and do like photo shoots and stuff. I just think it looks really nice. Now we're gonna move on to the left dimple. Oh, whoopsie, I took off my baby hairs. So actually, yeah, we're gonna move down to the dimples. So the right dimple. So there are 3 different versions of these. These are the Fayish skin details. So there's the Decades version, the Chubby Cheeks version, and the structured version. I think there's other versions of it as well. Like, yeah, there's like eyelids and like face pores, and yeah, so that's it for that. But I'm actually going to, let's see, I'm gonna show you guys what they look like. So for older sims, of course, you have different little skin details that you can give them, make them look a little bit more aged. And of course, some of them are just like different like little versions. You got eye bags and everything. So just make sure elder sims actually look like elder sims, because I usually use skin details and like a skin overlay, which tends to cover up the wrinkles that the default skin will give the sims. So if I want to go back in and give them like, you know, wrinkles and stuff, then I can layer them up in different sections. And then there's also the structured look, if you wanted to give your sim a more carved out face, a more, you know, Adonis type of face, or like, you know, just high cheekbones and like stuff like that. And then of course you would use the structured version. And then there is the Chubby Cheeks version, which if you wanted to have a sim with a rounder face, then of course you could do this, and it will add a little bit more detail for that sim. Right now I'm not going to use any of those because I don't use these super often, but I feel like they're really good for, like I said, elder sims, or like if I want a sim with like a round face or anything. But I'm not going to use any of them today. But we are going to move on to this right here, which is the OKRU miscellaneous details. And these are so good. Like, I love this so much. So I will show you guys some of my favorite details in here. So I really like the green one, which just gives the sim a darker upper lip, because well, I'm a black simmer and you know, our lips don't tend to be just like one shade. Like, they tend to sometimes be different shade. I for one have like a darker ring around my like perimeter for my lips, and then it's like pink on the inside. So but I've definitely seen some people who have like a darker upper lip or like a darker lower lip and like stuff like that. So I feel like this is just like a really good detail. I also like the yellow one, which just gives, I believe, what is this called? I think it starts with the PH, filtrum, something like that. But it just adds a little bit of detail right there to your upper lip. I also really love this like white swatch right here. Is just a inner corner highlight and an outer corner highlight. Right now it looks a little crazy because I don't have a bunch of other skin details on, but I believe this one, yeah, this one's also another contour. So like if I didn't want to use this one, then I could use this, and it has different shades to it. And then there's just different little stuff in here, like nose stuff, eye stuff. I think there's some elder stuff in here too, yeah. But yeah, for now I'm going to give my sim a dark a darker top lip, and yeah, I'm gonna do that for now, and then we're gonna move to lip mole. This right here is by Spooky Sims. It is the Miscellany Lip Mask, and I love this so much. It just gives a little bit of something to the lips. Like, I don't know what it is about this, but I just feel like it just makes your Sims lips look a little bit more detailed and a little bit more realistic. Of course, some of them are definitely not realistic, and then some of them just kind of cover the lips as a whole, like these little last ones right here. But my favorite one right here is this brown middle one, and then maybe this top one right here. But I'm going to select this one right here because I think it makes the lips look like really plump and pretty. Okay, now we are in lip mole right, and I'm going to show you this right here. So these are little details by Nizuri, and yeah, so these of course will just it's kind of similar to the miscellaneous ones by OKRU, but it just has different stuff in it, different like eyelids and like forehead shapes and like nose stuff. So this is just to add, again, like eye bags, like just that little bit more detail. I think some of these have freckles too, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of nose masks in here. Ooh, this one's nice. I like this one right here, which it's giving a little bit more detail to the top of that lip, but I do have it layered with that other one, so it might also just be like a darker top lip. But yeah, that one's pretty nice. It's got butt chin, dimple chin. Now we are on the left cheek mole, and we are going to do this one right here. So this is the Topaz highlighter, and I live by this. Like, I put this on all my Sims basically, like and it has brighter shades the darker that you go here, but I usually just tend to stick to the first one just because it usually fits most of my Sims. Looks really good on like black Sims and especially darker Sims like they have here on the thumbnail. It just makes them look like they're glowing, like it just looks really cute. And then we are going to the right cheek mole, and we're gonna add another detail. Let's see. Okay, so this one's another one, the lip tints by Lumia. Again, I don't think I'm gonna use it right now just because I have other lip stuff on here, but it gives, it's heating it, even with the other stuff, it just adds like a lot more like color to the lips. Because like I said, you know, black people, we don't always have brown lips. Some of us have pink lips, some of us have, you know, two-tone lips. I have two-tone lips. Like if I was to say what my lips look like, it's kind of like this, but just the brown on the outside is a little bit more like closer to the middle. But yeah, that's kind of like what my lips look like as far as the colors go. But instead, in this section, I'm going to put this on. So this is the A Time to Shine Nose Highlight by Alexar. I usually just stick to this little middle one right here. It just adds highlight to the bridge of the nose and to the tip of the nose, and then the pink one I believe is just, yeah, the bridge, and then the blue one, it's just the tip. I usually do both though. And then for the skin details here, lastly on this section, it is the Ogre Bits. It is their Hey Hu nose highlight. I think that's how you said it. I could be wrong. I don't think I pronounced that very well, but yeah. So I usually use the first one. I don't usually go that much lighter, but I usually stick to the first one. I do put two nose highlights on just because I feel like the first one just has like a little bit of an under shadow or an under highlight, and the other one, this one right here, just like defines it a little bit more. And then let's see if I wanted to add another skin detail. I'm gonna go ahead and add this back here. I'm gonna do the lighter one for now because I might change the skin tone, but yeah, I'm gonna do this lighter one, which is one of the ones I showed you guys earlier. And let's go into the other section. So brow details, if there's anything that I add here, it usually would be this, like if I wanted to add more skin details with other stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and skip that. Cheek details, so because I don't have the color sliders mod that I have in my game, I'm not going to add any of this blush because sometimes it tends to be too heavy. I used to do it like a heavy blush, but these days I just kind of have a lighter one, a more subtle one. This one's okay. I might add this one actually. Unless I, you know, want to go for that sort of look. But right now I don't want to do anything too crazy, I don't think. So we are going to stick with this blush right here. It gives her a little color on her cheeks. And yeah, but this is the Moo. Yeah, this is the Moo blush by Squeamish Sims, and this is really nice. But like I said, with that color slider mod, I would be able to take some of these brighter colors and then tone it down a little bit. That way it's a little bit more red, but also still kind of subtle. So, but for now, we are going to do this. And then there's two different versions. I think, yeah, they kind of look pretty similar. So I'm not too sure like what the exact difference is. Yeah, I don't see a big difference. And again, I'd probably just add like I say, if I wanted to do, let's see, some more details. Okay, yeah, go ahead and put that little upper lip part. And then again, on my base and how she normally looks, I would usually have that lighter swatch right there, unless, you know, I change the skin tone and I need to adjust it. But yeah, this lip liner right here, this is by NorthernSiberiaNWinds. And it is, yeah, so there's this version right here, which are the no color swatches, and I would be able to adjust those as well with the mod that I was talking about. But then there's also these, which if I'm doing like a lighter sim, then sometimes I would do some of the like pinker swatches or the redder swatches. But yeah, for now we're just gonna do the same swatch I always use. Now that is all we are going to do for these skin details up top, but now we are actually going to go to tattoos, because there are some things in here that I wanted to show you guys to add just that little bit more detail. Firstly, there is another lip liner that I could use in here, which is by Peachy Fairy. This is the Glossier lip liner. So let me show you what it looks like. These ones are really nice too. Like, they're definitely a lot more defined and follow the lip shape like more properly. So if I wanted to go for a more FA defined like lip liner, then I would definitely do that, but they don't always look too natural, so it just depends on what, you know, type of sim I'm going for. And then again, these are some more like pinker, purpler swatches, which look good with some other sims. But yeah, we're not gonna do this right now just because there's, you know, I already got a lot going on the lips. Like I've already detailed her up on the lips. But yeah, so what I usually do, I always have one of these on. I usually stick to this one. This is also by Peachy Fairy, same collection as the lip liner, I believe, which is the Glossier gloss overlay. So this one allows my sim to have glossy lips. She's not looking ashy, and it goes over any of the lip glosses or lipsticks or anything that I'm gonna put on in the makeup section. We'll do this one just because it's kind of subtle. Now we have two belly overlays. Both of them are by MXAO, I believe. So there is this one right here. Now the only issue is that with the NorthernSiberiaNWinds, because the way that they do their like skin tones, it doesn't always like blend into it doesn't always blend in too well sometimes with the skin tone. This one looks pretty good, I think. Yeah, but you see like here on the side, like it definitely, there's a clear line there, which definitely kind of bothers me a little bit. But let me show you it with another skin on. Put on the glass skin by Twisted Cat. So yeah, and then we turn to the side. You can't see that line, like it's just not there. So yeah, the NorthernSiberiaNWinds skins, they do tend to be a little bit lighter, so they don't always blend in with the skin tone that will follow the belly mask. But yeah, but they have these ones right here, which are just, you know, cute little pudgy bellies, and it just looks a lot more natural. I think some of these also yeah, and then some of them are kind of like ab replacements. Okay, they're not showing up over this skin though. I'm gonna do the So Creamy skin. Here we go, that way you can see all the swatches. So yeah, there's different versions, and you can see the ab overlays now. So yeah, there's that one, but then there is also this one right here. This is also by MXAO, which has some similar looking pudgy bellies. But then there's also, let's see, where is it? There's this one, which is a little bit more rounded out. And then there's these abs right here, which are super muscular. And then some of them have like chest overlays as well. So for now, I do think I want to give her a belly overlay. We're gonna move all the way down here, and then NorthernSiberiaNWinds also has some breast overlays. These are definitely my favorite ones. I think they just blend into a lot of different skins really well. No, I do use the gray ones for these ones, and then some of these also have gray versions, which are basically just they blend in with their skin tone better, or just get darker, you know, or like lighter. But then with the colored ones, of course, it's more specific to skin tone. So I don't really use those ones that often, but I like all of their like breast overlays. So really any of them, if you go on their Patreon, then yeah, you can definitely find them in a few of their different posts. So that is it for all of the skin details and tattoo details. But for now, we are going to go ahead and move on to presets. So I'm going to do body presets, and as well as different parts of the face, those presets as well, and skin tone. So let's go ahead and do body. Now I really only tend to use 2 different ones. But I use this one, which is number 15 by OBSCURUS, I believe is how you say that. But I don't know, I just really like this one. I feel like it looks really good with a lot of the different like sliders and stuff that I have. I'm not going to mention the sliders that I have in this video, just because y'all, like I have like so many sliders. I couldn't tell you like which one does what and like different things like that. But so usually with it, I do have to spread the shoulders apart, and then sometimes I'll just kind of mess around with the waist, make the thighs a little bit thicker. I definitely always do the calves a little bit thicker, make the arms a little bit thicker. But the base for it usually tends to be pretty good. And I like it because the belly isn't like super like washboard flat. And I can like move it out a little bit, which is like that's how my belly looks. And then I can give her some boobs. I wanted to give her bigger boobs, and I could do that. But yeah, so there's this, which I think is just a really good body. And if I wanted to do a plus size sim, then I would do either one of these 3, though I do tend to stick with number 1 or 2. These are the More to Love presets by VibrantPixels. So yeah, they're just kind of like all slightly different, like shoulders raised, or like the way that the bellies just kind of like sit, the waistline sit, the thighs kind of come out on some of them a little bit more. And of course, if you want to see them a little bit better, then of course you can see that like that. But then what I'll sometimes do is I will mesh those body shapes together with the one that I usually use, because the one that, like if I was to just go all the way up with this body shape, I don't think it goes out as wide as it would then if I was to click either one of these. So yeah, I could do that. Today we are going to go for a little thickum schnickum sim. I feel like I barely ever do this for sims, but yeah, let's do this today. Now I am just going to quickly touch on skin tone. So I use 2 creators for skin tones. I use Northern Siberian's blueberry skin tones, and I use Lamatis's bear skin tones. Down here, I believe these are Lamatis's bear skin tones, which I like that they're just all together like this, because you can kind of just see everything all together, rather than like them being like all spread out like how they are up here. Wow, this is gorgeous. Like, oh, she looks so good. Okay, I think I'm gonna choose that skin tone. But let me show you NorthernSiberiaWinds' blueberry skin tones, which I believe they are the ones that are up here. I don't think there are any other ones mixed in. I might have some more skin tones in my game. I tend to download some sims like that other people made too, so sometimes I get CC that I didn't actually like download myself. So yeah, some of these might not be blueberries skin tones, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and click back on this skin though, because she looks good. She looks so good with that like little touch of blush. Absolutely, yes ma'am. Okay, but a little hazel action, you know, we might give her a little bit of a hazel eye. Yeah, no, she literally looks so good, y'all. I can't. Okay. Anyway, yeah, now we're going to move on to some face presets. Now I have 2 creators that I usually will use presets for, except I think in one of these sections there's another creator that I'll tend to use, but the main ones, like, you know, there isn't specific head shapes. Hold on. Specific head shapes or anything that I use. NorthernSiberiaWinds has some good ones, but I usually tend to move them around with a click and drag anyway. So but I know that this one right here is a pretty nice one. It probably didn't change that much, because that might be the one that's like already on the sim. But yeah, they have some pretty good ones. Like I said, I usually tend to click and drag anyway. But I really like the way she looks, so I'm not going to change that too much. And then for eyes, I like to use OBSCURUS and NorthernSiberiaWinds. So let's look at some of the eye shapes for Obscurus. I like to look at them with lashes on just because you can see them a little bit better. Like we got some monolids up in here. We got some bigger eyes with a lot of lid space. And then of course, where is, oh, they're up here. And then we got NorthernSiberiaWinds. I'm going to go for number 12 by NorthernSiberiaWinds, but then I'm going to, wait, I'm going to do that a little bit and then maybe make it come down a little bit, that come up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I don't know if that looks that much different to how she looked before, but you know, we'll move on. For noses, I like to stick with NorthernSiberiaWinds for the most part. I just really like their noses. They have really good shapes and a lot of variety of shapes. Though for, hold on, let me go to some of the ones that are up here as well. That way you guys can see. And again, I'll use my, you know, sliders and everything. That way I can get like, you know, bigger noses. Because I tend to just like the shapes of these. But if I wanted like some like, you know, bigger, like really bigger noses, then Symbiance has some really good noses. These are pretty old too. Like I've had these in my game for a while. Really good for making like ethnic sims. But yeah, we'll do that one, which is a number 18, I think is what that is by NorthernSiberiaWinds. And then we're gonna go to lips. Now, the lips that my base sim is wearing, I'm pretty sure these are base game lips. Like they're these ones. Could be wrong. This definitely could be a preset that I downloaded, but I really don't think it is. Just because you can't see any differences or anything. But some of my favorite ones that I like to use all the time are these ones up here. NorthernSiberiaWinds has some of the best lips. Like they look so good. Now, when I apply them, they are very small. And I do tend to like my, you know, sims look like brats. So I do make them bigger. So let's go ahead and choose one. That way you guys can see what it looks like when I make them bigger, thicker. So we got this like half open one. It's really nice. And then let's do this one. Really cute. Yeah, no, this is giving. This is definitely giving. Okay. We're gonna choose this one, which is number 42 by NorthernSiberiaWinds. And yeah, for like other sections like chins and like jaws, like I don't really use any of that. I just click and drag. And then for ears, I don't really use presets too much. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I kind of ignore ears. The only time I ever really change ears is if I wanted to give them like, you know, pointy ears, like elf ears or something, which NorthernSiberiaWinds has some really cute ones, you know, surprise, surprise. And then Symbiance also has some really nice ones too. I like how these ones kind of come out a little bit more. I made some fairies and I gave them these type of ears and they were really cute. But yeah, we're just gonna do like some regular ears. Let me go ahead and give her a hair, and then we are going to wrap up this video, and I will go over some of my favorite hair creators and everything, and maybe a different video, just because I've already been recording for an hour and it's just been too long. And my voice is starting to get like really dry. You guys could probably hear it in different points of this video. So this right here is what I mean. Sometimes I need this darker lip liner. No, let's not do this one actually. Let's do the one that's up top. Now, since I've changed her skin tone, I am going to give her a darker lip. Let's see. Maybe one of these ones over here. Yeah, see, that just looks a lot better. Okay, so I'm finally done. I just did like little slight adjustments. And she has absolutely no makeup on. Like you see, I'm hovering over the makeup section. There is no X. I click on it. There's nothing on her. Nothing on her. So this is just how my sim will look if I was to use my same old skin details and stuff like that, but just kind of give her a different vibe than what my base sim will originally look like. And again, like, you know, I tend to like certain, like, I don't know, like head shapes and stuff. I usually stick to the same stuff, so hopefully I don't have same face syndrome. But so this is the sim, and I just think that she is super cute. She doesn't have any like makeup on, and she doesn't have like a super crazy like, you know, outfit or anything. But yeah, this is the sim that I'm going to use for today's video, and maybe for the next video once I show you guys like some of my favorite CC creators for like you know, clothes and hair and shoes and accessories and stuff, then I might give her an actual makeover, like put some makeup on and, you know, give her an actual outfit. But for now, we are going to end today's video here. I've already been recording for over an hour, And yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment them down below, or you can ask me on Tumblr as well. I don't really post a lot on Tumblr, but I'll definitely like check my notifications to see if you guys had any questions. And yeah, I will have all of the names for everything down in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.